Why is it that we can be incredibly smart about so many things in life, yet when it comes to reading the signs that someone isn't interested in us romantically, we suddenly become masters of self-deception? You know the feeling. You're texting back and forth with someone you really like, and you start analyzing every word, every emoji, every response time like you're decoding some ancient manuscript. You convince yourself that her 3-hour delay in responding means she's playing hard to get, not that she's simply not prioritizing you. You tell yourself that her short replies mean she's being mysterious, not disinterested. Here's the thing about romantic interest that nobody really talks about. When someone is genuinely into you, they make it pretty obvious. Not always in the way movies portray it, but in consistent, unmistakable ways that don't leave you constantly questioning where you stand. The problem is, many of us have been conditioned to chase, to persist, to believe that romantic success comes from not giving up. And while perseverance has its place in life, when it comes to someone's romantic interest, ignoring clear signals can lead you down a path of frustration, wasted time, and diminished self-worth. Let's talk about 6 clear signs that she's just not that into you. Not to discourage you from putting yourself out there, but to help you recognize when it's time to redirect your energy towards someone who will genuinely appreciate what you have to offer. Sign number 1, her communication is consistently minimal. When someone is interested in you, they want to engage with you. They ask follow-up questions. They share details about their day. They remember things you've told them and bring them up later in conversation. If her responses are consistently short, lacking questions, and feel more like she's fulfilling an obligation than engaging in genuine conversation that's telling you something important. One-word answers, delayed responses that stretch into days, and conversations that feel like you're pulling teeth are not signs of someone who's excited to hear from you. Now, some people are naturally less communicative over text, and that's fair, but even less talkative people will show enthusiasm in other ways when they're interested. They'll suggest meeting in person, they'll initiate conversations sometimes, or they'll at least seem engaged when you do talk. The key word here is consistently. Everyone has busy days or moments when they're not in a chatty mood. But if this minimal communication is the norm rather than the exception, she's showing you that connecting with you isn't a priority for her. Sign number 2, she never initiates plans or contact. Think about it. When you're excited about someone, don't you find yourself wanting to reach out? Don't you think of things you'd like to do together? Don't you occasionally send them something funny you saw that reminded you of them? If you're always the one texting first, always the one suggesting you meet up, always the one trying to extend conversations, you're not building a mutual connection. You're essentially having a relationship with yourself while she's a passive participant. Someone who's genuinely interested will occasionally be the first to reach out. They might not do it as often as you do, but they'll show some initiative. They'll suggest activities, share things that made them think of you, or simply check in to see how you're doing. When all the effort is coming from one side, it's not a relationship developing. It's you auditioning for someone who hasn't shown up to watch the performance. Sign number 3, she's always busy when you suggest meeting. Everyone has genuine commitments. Work gets hectic, family needs attention, life happens. But here's what's interesting about truly busy people who are interested in you. They don't just say they're busy and leave it at that. They either suggest an alternative time or they make an effort to reschedule. If every invitation you extend is met with, "I'm busy" or "I can't," without any counter-proposal or attempt to find another time that works, she's telling you that seeing you isn't something she's actively trying to make happen. People make time for what matters to them. They rearrange schedules, they suggest alternatives, they show some enthusiasm about the possibility of spending time with you. When someone is genuinely interested but truly can't make a specific plan work, they'll usually express some disappointment and try to figure out when they can see you instead. Constant unavailability without any attempt to find alternatives is a gentle way of saying no without having to actually say no. Sign number 4, her body language is closed off or distracted. When you're together, when you do spend time together, pay attention to how present she actually is. Is she checking her phone frequently? Does she seem more interested in what's happening around you than in your conversation? Does she maintain physical distance, avoid eye contact, or seem like she's counting the minutes until she can leave? Someone who's interested in you will generally be present when they're with you. They'll make eye contact, face toward you when you're talking, and seem engaged in the moment. They might laugh at your jokes, ask questions about things you're telling them, or share stories of their own. If she seems distracted, physically distant, or like she's going through the motions of hanging out without actually enjoying your company, that's a clear indication that whatever's happening between you isn't generating the kind of excitement and connection that leads to something more. Your gut usually knows the difference between someone who's genuinely happy to be spending time with you and someone who's just being polite. Sign number 5. She talks about other guys she's interested in. This one might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how often people ignore this clear signal. If she's regularly mentioning other guys she finds attractive, talking about dates she's been on, or asking for your advice about her romantic situations with other people, she's categorizing you as a friend, not a romantic prospect. When someone is developing romantic feelings for you, they're not typically eager to discuss their interest in other people. They might mention other relationships in passing or in the context of their past, but they're not actively highlighting their romantic availability to others or seeking your input on their dating life. If she sees you as a potential romantic partner, she's generally not going to be enthusiastic about reminding you that she's actively looking elsewhere. This isn't about game playing or manipulation. It's about natural human behavior. When we're developing feelings for someone, our attention tends to focus on them, not scatter across multiple possibilities that we then discuss in detail. Sign number 6. She doesn't show interest in your life beyond surface level. Someone who's developing genuine feelings for you will be curious about who you are beyond the basics. They'll ask about your work, your family, your interests, your opinions on things that matter to you. They'll remember details from previous conversations and follow up on things you've told them. If her interest in you never goes deeper than surface-level small talk, if she doesn't ask follow-up questions about things that are important to you, or if she seems disinterested when you share something meaningful about your life, she's not developing the kind of deeper connection that leads to romantic relationships. Genuine interest in someone includes wanting to understand what makes them who they are. It means being curious about their thoughts, their experiences, their perspectives on life. It means caring enough to remember what they tell you and to want to know more. When someone consistently keeps interactions superficial, despite multiple opportunities to go deeper, they're usually not looking to build something meaningful with you. Recognizing these signs isn't about becoming cynical or giving up on connection. It's about developing the emotional intelligence to read situations accurately so you can make better decisions about where to invest your time and energy. The truth is, when someone is genuinely interested in you, you won't have to decode their behavior like you're solving a mystery. Interest tends to be fairly obvious, even when someone is being subtle about it. They make time for you, they engage with you, they show curiosity about your life, and they demonstrate through their actions that connecting with you matters to them. This doesn't mean everyone who's interested will be forward or obvious about it. Some people are naturally more reserved, but even reserved people will show consistent signs of engagement and availability when they're genuinely interested in building something with you. The goal isn't to become someone who gives up at the first sign of mixed signals. It's to become someone who can distinguish between genuine interest that might be developing slowly and polite disinterest that's being communicated indirectly. Your time, attention, and emotional energy are valuable. You deserve to invest them in connections that have genuine potential, not in situations where you're the only one who's truly invested in the outcome. When you learn to recognize these signs early, you free yourself up to find someone who will be genuinely excited about the possibility of building something meaningful with you. And trust me, that kind of mutual interest feels completely different from trying to convince someone to care about you. Someone who's right for you won't leave you constantly wondering where you stand.